Sheriff is ready to go. Let's bring in Sheriff Ramsay, St. Louis County. Thanks again for joining us. We appreciate it.
You bet. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, so we just heard the briefing. I'm sure you probably were listening to the same thing, hearing from the governor and all those officials. I'm curious though, what have you seen on the ground here in the last, I guess 24 hours is when we last talked to you. How have the evacuation efforts been going? What's been happening that you've seen?
Well, the fires have continued to grow. We had a third fire in the Three Lakes Road area that really expanded, died down overnight. The Brimson fire expanded significantly. We lost more houses. And then the newest fire, the Jenkins Creek fire, has really expanded as well. And we're monitoring the area around Hoyt Lakes and Skybo as that fire continues to grow as well.
How have the evacuations been going? We talked yesterday, a lot of people are going to have alerts. Have you had to sort of go, even door to door in some areas, or how's that been?
Yeah, the evacuations, we do go door to door. We have the resources that can do that. And of course, in a rural nature, we don't have that many houses. So that's how we've been doing it. We also are tracking what houses we've talked to, who is leaving and who is not.
And when we talk about sort of these, we use the word structures and we say there, 40, 50 structures have been lost, but, I'm guessing a lot of these are homes. Can you talk to us a little bit about what's being destroyed here?
Yeah, so, as I was saying a minute ago, not everybody has left in these evacuations, right? So there's been a number of people who have chosen to stay. We know the fire's gone through their area, and what we're trying to do now is determine, are they okay? Did they leave? And so that's something that law enforcement's working on today. Have we, we're worried about that someone may have been lost in the fire. So we're trying to track everybody down who chose to stay.
And as it continues to spread, it's my understanding, north, what are you concerned about? What is in the path as these three fires sort of move in the direction they're moving at this moment?
The Brimson fire, if it continues to move north, will impact the National Forest area. There's some recreational areas that are National Forest recreational areas that some are open, some are going to be closed. So people that are going to be going up there and have plans in the Superior National Forest, they should check for road closures. They should make sure that any campsites are going to be open. And then a lot of the major highways and back highways are closed as a result of these fires. So people should make sure they know where they're going and whether or not they're going to be open or not.
All right, Sheriff, we're taking a look at some video right now. I don't know that you can see it or not, but it looks like it's from Boomer and Earl, who's been dumping water and they're just doing such an incredible job. He's been sharing a lot of these videos. Talk to me a little bit about the battle from the air, what some of the challenges have been and what the process is like.
So often we hear when government doesn't work. On Sunday, when the fires first started, it was great to see almost immediately the air support there. They had been staged in St. Louis County. I think there was 4 helicopters and about 6 or 7 planes that were on the scene very fast, working to save structures. That was so reassuring to see that there had been pre-planning and that it worked. So the fires we'd be in a much more dire shape if we didn't have the air support that's out there.
And you got a couple more, I think, from the National Guard as well, which is great. And yeah, really interesting to learn about the coordinating efforts here between all the agencies, not only here in Minnesota but across the country. As many of us know, if you follow fires, whether it be Los Angeles or wherever it is, the coordination amongst these fire crews across the country is really, really impressive and efficient. I'm curious how your folks are doing. How are you doing? What kind of relief is there for those who are actually out there fighting this fire?
Well, people that go into public safety really want to help. I mean, most people, they are there. They want to do everything they can to keep people safe. So we've got really a lot of help. Our folks are wanting to do everything they can for people, but it's getting a little tiresome. So any one of these fires would be a significant event for us. The fact we have 3 large fires, it is taxing, but we've got great people, great dedicated people. the community, those involved in this, those that live in these areas have been very, very understanding.
Yeah.
I think the area that's toughest is trying to get the word out, the communication. People want to get back to their homes. They want to get back to their land and make sure everything's okay. But right now it's just not safe. And it's difficult to tell people that.
Sure. Yeah. No, it's incredibly got to be incredibly emotional for them. We were talking to Pete from Firewire, and he was just saying many of those structures that we keep talking about are people's homes that maybe have been in their family for decades, if not longer. That just you can't replace. And so there's so much, so many layers here. I'm curious if folks are in that area, and I don't want to kind of put you on the spot, but maybe for next time we talk to you, if there's a way to help, if people wanted to bring water or sandwiches or something like that, is there sort of a safe place where the community can drop off things, or because I know that there are people there that want to help as they can.
The Incident Command Center in Two Harbors, people have been dropping off Gatorade and water and stuff, and that's appreciated. I think right now we're good.
Okay.
If people really want to help, the opportunities to help are going to be coming up when those who have lost their homes in this event are going to need help, are going to need money to get back on their feet. That's where I think if people could just hold tight, those are the people that are really going to need the help. When this is over and the fanfare or whatever you want to call it's died down, that's when the time to help is really going to be important.
Yeah, that makes sense. Let's just talk a little bit more about. I don't think we can talk enough about the sort of red flag, warnings and the burning restrictions and things, because people down here in the cities or down in Marshall might be watching this and saying, well, this doesn't really affect me. But right now, everybody, most people in the state need to be aware that right now is a really dangerous time to be doing anything that could spark a fire in any way, shape, or form.
So it's looking like the Brimson fire started with a campfire that was left unattended. And to see the damage that has occurred because of that decision is significant, right? So a simple campfire got out of control and has caused, significant cost to families and people in their homes. So right now in our area, it's not advisable at all to have any type of fire outside. It is very dangerous. The conditions are tender. And this is a good example of what can happen. The Jensen Creek fire may have started with a cigarette discarded as a person passed by, because that fire started right at Highway 16, right at the roadway. So little things in these conditions can make a big difference, and you're seeing the result of one on the screen right now.
Yeah, and I was going to ask you about that. So that Jensen's Creek is nearby, but it sounds like they were saying in the press conference a different origin, so actually completely separate, even though it's nearby. And then how about the third? Any indication as to what may have sparked that one?
Yeah, that call came in from a farm where a bale of hay had started on fire and quickly spread. Don't know how it started, but it started on a farm, and the homeowner called immediately, but it was already too late by the time fire crews got there.
Sheriff, in the case of someone, having a campfire that wasn't completely extinguished, or let's say that was the case in this larger fire, how close, after things all is said and done here, how close as investigators can you get to where exactly this started, who started it, I guess more importantly, and then what kind of consequences would someone face?
Well, it's significant consequences, especially when there's this type of devastation. But currently the DNR is leading the investigation, and fires, you can tell a lot. Experienced fire investigators can tell a lot as to how they started, and it is an art. And I know in the case of the Brimson fire that they have identified who had the campfire, and they're working that as an active investigation.
Okay, and just generally speaking, the consequences are, I guess, both criminal and financial, is that right?
Criminal and civil. And we've seen the cases in the state where the DNR has really put high fines, worked on high fines and civil penalties on those that have been responsible for fires, and it's just not worth it.
Okay. What's next for you folks? Do you have another briefing coming up shortly? What are the what are the next steps for you?
Yeah, we'll brief again at the end of the day. We do know that several of the fires have started back up and are moving north significantly. We're watching the weather. The winds are supposed to change tomorrow, which could set a whole new trajectory for the fires. So a lot of unknowns, and we ask for people to continue to be patient, know that we're trying to get information out as quickly as possible. Everybody wants to get this right, and everybody wants to ensure we're doing what we can to save people's property and communicate with people that are impacted.
Yeah, and you want to keep folks out of that area who don't belong in that area. We should probably just reiterate that one more time too.
For sure. A number of cases where we have people just driving around and impede fire trucks and impede firefighting. The other thing is some of these areas have burned. We've got trees that are unstable. We've seen a lot of trees fall down on roadways that have been burned and are also hindering travel that people should be aware of if they're in those areas. But we want the firefighters to be able to do their job, and we appreciate people that stay out of the area and obey the road closed signs. And again, tickets are being issued for people that don't follow the drive around those barricades.
Very good. Okay, Sheriff Ramsay, St. Louis County, thank you so much for spending some time and helping get the word out about what's going on in real time and letting folks know. We are all hoping for a better forecast for you guys and for those who are on the front lines fighting this. So thank you.